Hello, it is I, your host, Cinema Kane. Today we're going to be talking about the sequel series to the 1988 Ron Howard film, Willow. Man, I remember hearing about Willow growing up. I don't know that I actually saw the movie until I was in my early 20s. I enjoyed my time with those characters. I especially loved Mad Mardigan. I mean, who doesn't love Val Kilmer? That said, I've watched the movie several times over the years. It's great for when it came out. The effects are definitely a bit dated, but they look pretty good still. But this sequel series has got some major issues. I want to start off by saying I don't completely hate it, but I also don't love it either. It's one of those things where it's this weird ebb and flow kind of thing. I almost feel like there were too many cooks involved. Because, for one thing, there are 8 episodes. As of now, there are 5 of the 8 available. So, by the time this recording goes up, I think all but maybe the last one will be up. My point is, this show has 8 episodes, and each writer gets 2 episodes. Each director gets 2 episodes. And I'm wondering if that's not part of the problem with that I'm having with the show. Because the writing quality goes from, okay, that's not bad, to, wow, did a 5th grader write this? Now, on top of that, you've also got some major issues with the acting. Because, again, the acting, much like the writing, it seems to ebb and flow between episodes, being good in some and not so good in others. The other big problem I'm having with the show is that it's almost like someone gave them a checklist and said, these are all the tropes within the fantasy genre. You've got to hit them. So it's almost like someone gave them a textbook called Fantasy 101, and they're literally working their way through that textbook, trying to make sure they hit every single fantasy trope on the way through. It's a bit daunting as a result. I find myself wanting to enjoy the show more than I actually am. Now, that said, when the show's on its high mark where the acting and the writing can keep up with each other, it's great. Production value is also great. The score for the show is good except for this, and this is another issue I'm having with the show. Why does every fantasy movie and TV show today, not all of them, but it does feel like a lot of them, feel the need to put in modern licensed music into a fantasy show? I don't like that. Yeah, if you're gonna do something that is meant to be, fantasy, medieval, whatever you want to call it, let it be that. Don't interject modern rock and roll and punk and heavy metal and things like that into a show like this. I can't stand it. I think it's cliched at this point, and I also think that shows like this need to be able to use orchestral music better. All that said, I enjoyed the original Willow, and the sequel series is not terrible, but it could be a lot better. I was hoping for better, in fact, because while I didn't wait nearly as long as the kids that grew up on the original Willow and loved it did for a sequel series or a sequel of some kind, I feel like those kids really got shortchanged because the kids that grew up with it were probably expecting something better than what they got too. And I can't fully recommend the show without telling people about the issues I'm having with it. So take that with what you will. I mean, my personal rating scale is, a 5-star scale. I give this 3.5 stars, maybe 3 stars, and it's because of all the things I just mentioned. Now, I'm really hoping, because as I said, at this point, we've only got 5 episodes. I'm really hoping these last 3 episodes will somehow change the tide and make the show better for me. But at this point, it's not. So, With that, I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Willow sequel series, the Weequel series. And I'm your host, Cinema Kane, and I'll see you at the video store. Cinema Kane here, reminding you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, think about clicking that bell notification so you know every time Cinema Kane has a new video uploaded. Share it on all your social media platforms, and I'll see you next time at the video store.